Now let's talk about
Big
coach
news.
firings. Yeah.
Big news. I know a couple of these hurt you.
To my core.
I know they did.
To my core, man.
And let me tell you, before, I don't know if you're gonna if you have them popped up, if you want to go in order.
You know what? I'm not even sure what the order was. Was Mayo first?
I think Mayo was first.
Okay. Yeah, let's go Mayo.
Well, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. You can.
What do you think? Well, I feel like he was handpicked.
By Bill himself.
All these years, he was the coach in waiting. Like 4 or 5 years, I don't know, the coach in waiting behind Belichick. And then all of a sudden, the owner says that he wasn't ready. Really? That makes me think that you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You handpicked this guy.
Right.
Belichick handpicked him. You co-signed it. Like a bad season, or even if a rookie coach regresses during a season, that doesn't mean he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Seasons ebb and flow, man. That means that it was just a bad season.
Yeah.
In the off season, he can regroup.
I agree.
And do his thing the next season.
And I feel like I'm going to repeat this same thing and when we talk about another coach, but I feel like the New England Patriots going into the season had to know, like, we're not – I mean, of course, everyone strives for the playoffs, but everyone coming into the season knew the New England Patriots weren't going to really be a playoff contender team. They weren't set up to be that.
They were set up to be booty. They were set up to get the first pick in the draft.
Yeah, and they would have been had they not won that game, but that doesn't. I don't care. I can see my friends have a thing with, like, when you know you're not going to be in it, just tank, and I don't really like that. I don't like a team that goes out on the field and is just like, yeah, we're going to lose because we want a higher draft pick.
The players,
it's like, why are you stepping on the field anyways?
The players that
you might as well just not play.
The players that go on the field are not going to try to lose.
No, exactly. But
as a coaching staff, as ownership, you can put players on the field that have very little chance of winning. You can't do that.
Right.
But pick guys and inactive guys.
Yeah.
And that's how they usually do it.
I assume they fired him because they won that game and they lost first pick, because why else would you fire him? He's a new coach. You weren't expected to be a whole lot this season anyways. You just got Jerod Mayo, who is great, and you can build off of him now. Why don't you let this coach work something out of that, or at least try to? Bill trusted him enough for him to be where he's at now. You obviously trusted him enough for him to be where he's at now.
Yeah.
I can't see you firing him for any other reason other than you lost the first pick of the draft.
I can see him firing him because he has someone in mind that he wants. Like, do not hire me because there's not very many good candidates, and then fire me when there's a pool of candidates that you maybe are salivating over.
Right.
And offensive-minded candidates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a defensive coach. Or you want somebody offensive-minded so that they can nurture Jerod Mayo. Well, hell, tell him to fire the OC. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of people should have gotten fired before the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd have fired the O-line coach, the receivers coach, the OC. How many you need me to fire, Mr. Kraft, before I got the boot?
Right. Now,
what are you telling me?
I have here pulled up on this laptop some people that the New England Patriots are either interviewing currently or have completed interviews with.
Yeah.
There's only a couple names, and I'm sure this list is grown. I don't remember when this article was posted. I'd have to scroll down to the bottom, but it says they completed interviews with Pep Hamilton, a longtime NFL assistant coach, and Byron Leftwich, former Buccaneers offensive coordinator, and they are currently interviewing. Allegedly, they may have finished already. I have no idea. Mike Rabel and Ben Johnson.
You want Mike Rabel and Ben Johnson? That's what they want.
Seems to be a hot commodity. It looks like everybody is trying to interview with that man. I also heard from a little bird that they're trying to interview Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy's had 2 jobs already. He's been bad at both of them.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you go that route, but
come on.
I heard a whisper in the wind that told me that.
You giving him 1 year and saying he's not ready after a year?
I know. I think it's ridiculous too.
A year with a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next up, who's the other coach that got fired? We're gonna go ahead and go with Jacksonville's Doug
Peterson.
Yeah.
Man, I understand, and we talked about it earlier in the year about how he was gonna get the boot mid-season. We thought.
Yeah.
But waited, and here it is, end of the season.
And this is his 4th year?
Third or fourth.
Yeah, like he's had opportunity with a franchise quarterback,
and he got them to the playoffs once.
Yeah,
but it seems like they just got worse. And last year they looked like they were going to be in the playoffs, 8-3, and then they just fell apart.
Yeah,
mid-season, and this year they looks like they just continued off of where they left off of last season.
Right.
So, it's understandable firing, not one that was too shocking or too hard to get a grasp on.
Right.
I just like Doug Peterson. I think he's a cool guy.
And he's a Super Bowl winner, huh?
Yeah, Super Bowl coach.
Yeah, definitely.
But maybe there are just problems in Jacksonville that reach a little further past
than him. Absolutely. I agree
maybe
with that.
Reach out to a man with some initials that one's a T, one's a B. Maybe it's reaching up a little higher in the ladder. Maybe those are where the problems lie.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking.
And the last one of the 3 recent firings from this weekend.
I know this one hurt you bad. I screenshotted your text when you texted me back and sent it to my friends. Because first of all, I didn't see the Mayo firing coming. I saw that one as a possibility, though. I was just hoping that he wouldn't get fired, just because he didn't even give him a chance. But I didn't even see this one coming. And maybe that was blinders on my part. I saw it coming earlier in the year. I was like, what if? Then I thought he had gotten over the hump. You see, I don't really particularly blame you for not seeing it coming, because I swear, like, the night before it was announced that he was fired, I saw something where Antonio Pierce made a statement about how in all the conversations he's had with everybody, he's came to the conclusion that his job is safe in Las Vegas and he'll be there the next season. And the next day, boom, fired.
Liars. Woo. GMs lie, owners lie. I just hope he got a fully guaranteed deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think that Antonio Pierce is a good head coach and was, it was a quarterback away.
Yeah.
Quarterback away, man. Quarterback away from maybe competing for 7 or 8 wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they have more problems with their roster than just the quarterback. They don't have any receivers.
No.
They got a tight end though.
They do.
Tight
Ooh,
end is
horrible.
good.
He's gonna
Yep.
be he's gonna be crazy.
Yep.
Um,
Running backs, but again, you can fire a lot of people before you get to Antonio Pierce.
yeah,
I don't get that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Before we move off of talking about the Raiders real quick, though, I did see that they're the favorite right now to get Aaron Rodgers next season, and that's
maybe that's why they fired him, because he didn't want Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, probably not. He probably said, "That's a bad idea, guys," and they're like, "Okay,
I will not coach that old quarterback. You got me coaching all these." Go ahead.
Something that upsets me about all this is we like these guys and we want them to have opportunities, but none of these other teams that just fired coaches are going to go hire an Antonio Pierce or a Jerod Mayo,
exactly,
or Doug Peterson. I mean, I guess that's fair. There are some more visually appealing options out there, but like I think people that deserve one more season, and it's upsetting that they're not going to get that, and who knows what jobs they're going to get elsewhere. I hope it's not the last time we see Antonio Pierce or Jerod Mayo. Jerod Mayo.
I don't even think he hasn't even been a coordinator before.
Really? What was he before he was?
He was a position coach, and then they elevated him to assistant head coach in waiting.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he probably won't even get a coordinator job. He may get a coordinator job. I hope
so too.
Unless these boys go to college and get a college job.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the Week 18 firings, man. We already talked about the Bears. Who else?
Can I bring up someone I'm surprised that didn't get fired this season?
Go ahead.
What is Brian Dable doing? How is he talking to this staff? What kind of relationship does he have with them? Where they're like, I like Brian Dable. Don't get me wrong. But he's not doing nothing in this organization, man. And maybe
he was fired already.
No, he's still there. And maybe they did it because they cut Daniel Jones and they were like, Daniel was the issue. We're going to go get us a Shador or a Cam Ward.
You know who I can't believe they haven't fired yet?
Who?
Their GM.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe the GM, the same GM that allowed Saquon to go to the division rival.
It's still there.
I'd have fired him. The first time Saquon had a 100-yard game, I'd have fired his ass.
Yeah. First time he did it for a third game in a row.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, you're right. Like all these GMs and coaches getting fired and the Giants are standing pat. Makes no sense, man.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is a crazy league.